This is the story of a timing chain tensioner replacement gone horribly wrong. Not really. Okay, so to get the timing chain tensioner off, valve cover off, coolant reservoir out of the way, unbolt this power steering bracket so you can get your hand down in here to do stuff. Water pump bolts off, timing side cover off, but first, okay, this is going to be out of order, who cares. The brace that goes around here, out of there. Motor mount, out of there. What else do I got over here? Drive belts come off. This is a timing chain side cover. This is the bottom of it. This is a timing chain side cover. It's upside down right now. Crank pulley comes off. Motor mounts come off. The motor mount off the front. The splash panels from underneath come off. Water pump comes off. Let's see, what else? Yeah, that's a crank. No, I don't know what the hell that is. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's all simple stuff. So anyways, pull it all off. That's what you're left with. The intake variable timing thingy used to be right there with the gear behind it, and the gear goes here, and there's the intermediate sprocket, and the rest of it's down there. I'll post another video once I get all that crap off there so I can replace all the timing chain. Camshaft, good stuff there. Here's the flats that you can put the crescent wrench or whatever wrench you want on so you can get the bolts off to get the gears off. It's all good. Battery's disconnected. Right now I got the motor mount or the whole engine supported on a block of wood on the floor jack underneath the air conditioning bracket. So it's nice and steady. Yay. Where is my tensioners? Here's the new tensioner. See all that plastic? See all that plastic there? See how thick that is? See all the pins there? There's a couple of bolts. Actually, it's installed this way. It sits in here like so. Right down here. Yeah, like you can see that. Right down there. That's where the tensioner goes. Look at all that plastic. That's the new one. Kind of hard to run this iPod or iPod Nano camera. Don't worry about it. Here's the old one. Look at all that not plastic. Yeah. Here are the two units side by side. Let me get a light. Look at all that not plastic. This just ain't, there we go. That might work a little better. See how torched that is? Yeah, that's what you get when you got a, oh, by the way, this engine's got 167,000 miles on it. It's running nice and quiet up until that chain got down into the plastic. So anyways, I was pulling her all apart now. I was just going to swap out the tensioner, and only the tensioner, till I looked down and saw, and I don't know if I can get in here tight enough. Probably not. Probably can't see it, but this tooth, let's try this way. This tooth right here is chipped. And there's a few more on this idler sprocket that are just like it. So check this idler sprocket for chipped teeth. Got chipped teeth. There's another one over here. Chipped one there, chipped one there. I can see one down there that's chipped, but I ain't even going to try to get the camera down in there. That's chipped. I wouldn't put it back together like that. That's just stupid, for one thing. Okay, I'm 4 minutes into this. Yeah. So here's the other problem, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this at all. When I pulled the exhaust cam gear off, the little ridge that the gear sits on was broken. See, there's a ridge right here. See the ridge right there? Well, on the other side, there is no ridge. The ridge is complete from here, the tip of my fingernail, down to here. It's broken from here up to here. So if I put the gear on there, grab the gear, put the gear on there, it centers itself up pretty good. Problem is, it might do something like this. It might roll off. It might come off center just a skosh. I doubt it, with that big ass bolt and that washer holding it in there, it might stay in there real nice. I ain't gonna take the chance. So, here's the old gear, the cam. The cam costs about 225 bucks. Not to mention you gotta swap out the lifters and everything else. Because you don't put a new cam on old lifter. Well, you can, but don't expect it to last. Give me a sec. Had to get a drink. No, Mountain Dew, not a drink. So what I did was I went down to the local machine shop and I had them cut me a bushing. Yeah, see, here's the new gear. I just leave all this stuff in one spot, you think? Here's the old gear, here's the new gear. I had them cut this bushing to press fit inside here, and the inside diameter of the bushing matches the bolt that goes in there. In there, yeah, right in there. So what I got is this puppy. Hang on. Got a shard of metal sticking in there, just a little chunklet of schmutz. Before I go putting it around the camshaft there, I want to make sure all the metal's out of the way, Okay. So this bolt is going to go in the center hole here. And this, by the way, this bushing doesn't fit all the way in there. It's recessed in the back here to make up for this little lip that this thingy makes. Or that ridge, if you will. So, gear goes on the dowel pin. Gear goes on the ridge. Nice and steady, but it's still got that little bit of back and forth wobble, just a hair. And once the bolt goes in there, that bushing is real tight on this bolt and should keep it from going off center. And even if it does go off center a little bit, it's a timing chain. It can, I'm sure this part here can have a little bit of run out and still be all right. I mean, it's spinning at half crankshaft speed. There's not a lot of mass there, and what mass is there is pretty close to the center of the rotation here. So, anyways, that's my big idea. Save roughly, well, that little bit of machine work just might save, I don't know how many $100 of cam and lifters. And yeah, there's the thing right there. It's about half the thickness of the timing gear itself. So, maybe a little more than half. I guess if anybody else is going to make this mod, they got to judge it for themselves. I also had to hit this with a grinder a little bit just to kind of grind this back flush. I really didn't take any meat off the timing gear itself. It just looks like I did because, it hit the grinder. But there you go. And yeah, getting those belts off is a little bit of a bitch. Oh, you got to drain the coolant. Eventually I'm going to have to drain the oil so I can get the oil pan off. But apparently you pull the oil pan off, you pull the pickup tube off, pull the rest of the bolts out of the front of the timing chain cover, and the whole thing will just basically slide out after you kind of maybe give it a whack with a couple whacks with a rubber mallet or whatnot. Pop it right off. The gasket underneath here, you got to kind of be careful of because it's part of the head gasket, the steel shim gasket, I think. Going to use some RTV to put that back up in there. I mean, this is the new revised procedure. You don't have to take off the intake and the head and the exhaust and everything else. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to have to move the exhaust out of the way, but just in case, I'm hitting it with some PB blaster, some penetrating oil on the flange bolts, just in case. But yeah, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. And you do have to, I kind of made a mistake. I took out all the bolts from the thermostat housing, right here. Don't have to take out these bolts, but you do have to take out these three that mount up to the water pump itself. So let's see what else. The lower tensioner is, and you won't be able to see this, but I can point to it. The lower tensioner is behind this thermostat housing right here. See my finger? See the fingertip? You follow that in towards the engine. There's the lower tensioner is right there. It's held on with two bolts and it slides right out. Pretty much. You got to kind of push this stuff out of the way. What else? God, is there anything else? No, that's it. My 10 minutes are up.